Can I help you? Take your hands off. Hello, my name is Scott Rogers. Today we're going to focus on Kyusho Jitsu as it applies to grappling. We're going to do some takedowns starting from the stand-up position, and then going to work on getting out of positions such as the mount and the guard. The purpose of this tape is not to teach you how to grapple, it's to teach you how to apply pressure points to grappling techniques that you know already. Okay, again we're going to bring my assistant John and we're going to work on some techniques from a grappling position. Basically there are two different types of lock-up positions we're going to cover. One is the position they use in judo where they grab the gi. One is used without a gi. Being that this is also applicable to street fighting, we're going to focus mostly on no gi applications. So what we're going to do is John's going to come in. We're going to start from a basic head and arm control point. And we're going to work some takedowns from here using the pressure points. First one we're going to use is the triple warmer 17 point, which is the one behind the jaw. This point is going to turn his head, and in combination with this arm, which I'm automatically on the lung 5 point, it's going to allow me to bring him over and down to the ground. So let's say we're locked up, we're looking for a position, I'm going to let the fingers slide in, pull down on here, and roll him down into position. From here we could take a knee on belly position, or we could drop into one of the other stances. We could go right into an arm bar from here, or we could continue on that same point just to hold him in place. All right? From the same position, we're going to show you a variety of different points depending on your hand position and which ones you feel comfortable with. The next one we're going to use is the stomach 9 point. Stomach 9 point is going to be activated by squeezing with the thumb and pressing down. So always with this arm, we're always going to be pulling him to get that twisting reaction to start the throw. And we're going to be stepping a little bit to allow him to fall. It's what we do with this arm that's going to change. So from here, let's say he's pulling a lot of pressure on this arm and I'm not really behind his head. I'm going to let my thumb slip into this point here. Right? As it slips in, I'm going to squeeze in and down and put pressure here and bring him down to the same position, locking him down. Okay, what I'm going to do is let the hand slide down and we're going to slip the thumb into the stomach 9 point. So we're going to move this arm first just so you can see it. This is going to slide and my thumb is going to connect in here. As soon as my thumb presses, I'm going to squeeze either the neck or the shoulder in the neck, and I'm going to put the pressure like I'm squeezing a pair of pliers and just squeeze it in and down. Now as I do that, that arm is going to be on me, and I'm going to squeeze, this is going to pull, and we're going to bring him right down to the ground. Okay, we're going to lock up again. This time, instead of attacking this side, we're going to use the mental nerve on this side of his face to help us turn his neck. Once we have control of the neck and the arm, it's very easy to throw him. So as we're moving, we're working for position right there. I'm going to let it slide into the opposite side, and I'm going to press down and turn. Once I get the head turned and it's in position, I can lock it in place. As it's locked, this is going to pull, and this is going to lift. So from grappling, we slide in, we turn the head, and we bring him down, controlling him the same way, basically ending in position to start an arm bar or to go into another submission hold. Now the last point we're going to use is the collarbone points. We have the stomach 11 point, the stomach 12 point, and the conception vessel 22 point. Same thing, we're in the same position, we're searching. He pulls me down a little bit, I let it slide right in, and I press. And it ends me in the same position again. In this position, we can strike, hit, we'll go right back into a lock. Okay, let me show you this point again. We're going to take his arm away so we can see what we're actually doing. We're going to let this slide down towards his chest, and we're going to let the fingers, like a hook, fit into his collarbone. Once it's there, it's a simple matter of pulling here and pressing here to get that reaction. And as I spin him, that's what brings him down. Once my arm is locked into here also on all of these techniques, this holds this position, which allows me to maintain the upper position. Meaning that as he drops down, this arm stays here, allowing me to keep the arm to set up for the arm bar or another technique. I don't let it release and then search for it again. So once I have it, I've actually locked the arm and set him up for the next move. Okay, so far we've done several points which bring him down. Let's just recap really quick. We've done the mental nerve, which twists his head and allows us to twist the neck and bring him down. We've done the triple warmer 17 point, which turns his neck this way and allows us to drop him. We've used our thumb and pressed into the stomach 9 point, allowing us to bring him down. And we've used the inner collarbone point, stomach 11 and 12. We're going to go back, we're going to take the triple warmer 17 point, we're going to bring him down the same way, we're going to go right into a one-leg armbar. All of the other points that we used can be set up the same technique, it's just a matter of where you want to place your hand. So the finishing move is the same, it's just what we use to take him down. So starting from the same position, we're going to come behind the jaw, bring him down, we have him locked, we step over, and we have the armbar, making him tap. Now, something else we might want to add here. If you get him in this position and he's struggling, we want to control his head so that he can't roll back. So we're going to use either the jaw point to press down or the triple warmer point to hold him here. So basically, if he wants to turn back towards me, he can't. And I keep my fingers here as I step over. And then we drop back and apply the technique. And if this was a real fight, my heel could be digging in to his jaw or his neck points, if this was a self-defense situation. All right, once we maintain grappling position, both arms are in position to strike him. So rather than bringing him to the ground with a throw, we're actually going to do a knockout technique involving the area around the temple, which are some points that we haven't really covered. We're going to slap. We have the temple, the corner of the eye, and the bridge of the eyebrow, which forms a nice big circle that's just going to get slapped. And on the other side, we're going to use the ridge hand to strike Gallbladder 20. From grappling position, as we're searching for a move, this hand is free to strike here. This hand is free to strike here. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock up, we're going to bring him down, and we're going to show the basic knockout, and he's going to drop. Okay? Yeah. Okay, at the end of this tape, we're going to show you the proper revival technique. We just revived John, we brought him back. Similar to a judo choke, there are certain methods used to wake him back up and restore him to feeling proper. So at the end of the tape, make sure you watch that. If you try any of these techniques, make sure you know how to do it properly. We're going to cover now the second way that a grappling situation starts, and that's using a shooting position or somebody rushing in for the clinch. First one, we're going to do the difficult one, somebody shooting for your legs. Now, let's say he's coming in, and I'm throwing a punch and he shoots in. If he's shooting in, he probably figures that my weight's going forward if he's timed it properly. So I'm not going to be able to just step backwards. If I was able to step backwards, he's shooting at the wrong time. So what we're going to do is as we come in and we see him drop, we're going to slap special points on his back. I'm going to stand him up to show it. Between his spine and his shoulder, right in this region, we have 3 points here, 3 points here. You're going to feel a hollow pocket on each side. And what we're going to try to do is slap them, which is going to drop him flat on his face. Now, one of two things can happen. If he comes in and I hit him before he makes contact with me, he will just fall and I could stand up and kick him and do what I want. If he makes contact with me, I may slap him, we'll both go down, but he won't be in a position to gain the mount or any other position, and I can scoot backwards or try to go for a position myself. So either way, when we go to the ground, I'm going to be in a position of advantage momentarily. If I do it quick enough, I should be able to not go to the ground at all. So again, he's going to come in, maybe I threw a punch, and I'm just going to slap in a downward motion. As you do this, it's not just a smack. You have to project like you're going to the floor. So it's a slap and a push. And as you hit it, you're going to notice his legs start to quiver, and he's going to drop. So we're going to try it at kind of regular speed. We're here, we throw a punch, he comes in, and he just drops. Now, if he would have caught my legs, the situation would have been different. He would have dropped, we would have fallen together, but I would have been able to recover because he would have still been trying to catch his balance and his awareness. So we're going to do it slow one more time. He comes in, both hands slapping down in a slapping motion. Slap and push. And if you can get your legs out of the way, great. If not, your first priority is to move back and create distance. All right, now we're going to counter the upper body clinches. As he comes forward, what we're going to look to do is try to stop him from what he wants to do, which is either lift me or hook my leg and trap me. Meaning that maybe we're looking for a position, he comes in and grabs. Now, he has one of two options here. He could try to actually lift me up and throw me, which is not too good. Or he could be looking to hook my leg, let's say bringing it around, and take me down and try to mount me. As soon as I feel the arms around my back, I need to stop his forward motion by pressing behind his jaw. So we're going to use the triple warmer 17 point, and we're going to press. Now, what this just did was create distance for me. As soon as I have this position, I'm going to slide this arm in, step back, and I'm going to bring him down and over. And then we're going to go for either a cross-side position or maybe even a mount position, depending on how he falls and in what direction. So we're going to show that one more time. Maybe we're moving around, maybe we're throwing punches. He comes in, he tries for the clinch. We come behind the jaw with the fingers. We turn his head in a direction back to front, and then we push away, which gives us our distance. From here, if we want, we could even hit with this hand or hold it with this hand, slide this under, and lock. We step back, drop down, and we come right into our cross-side position or one of our other positions, depending on what we want to do next. Okay? The second variation of the same technique, he comes in for the clinch the same way, is as we turn his head this way, instead of just using the arm, we're going to actually trap the head and lift as we throw him over, allowing us to come more to a top and bottom position this way. So it just throws him in a different direction. So we're going to show that one more time slowly. He came in for the technique. He grabbed, we turned, we placed our hand on his head, we rolled. This is going to lift, this presses down, and we're going to turn him like a wheel and bring him over. And again, we could come back to this position, which is one of the most common, or we could slide into one of the different ones that we'll show later. The next technique we're going to use is going to involve using the forearms to stop his forward motion. Where we're going to stop them is going to be on the gallbladder 21 points up here, right? So we're going to strike down. But the way we're going to do that is as he comes forward to tackle or shoot, the forearms are actually going to strike. Now we can't do this quickly now because I don't want to injure him, so we're just going to go through the motion. But basically we're in our position, he comes in, we stop him. Right from here, to prevent him from getting our legs, we're going to either grab our own hand or cross them and drop down to our knees. From this position now, we're going to reach under and we're going to twist using the mental nerve with finger pressure and bring him over onto his back, bringing him into a cross side or into a side control position. All right, so we'll show that one more time. So he comes forward, we stop him, we drop. We reach under with one hand and we twist. And we move either into here or we move right into the mount position. Okay. Second variation of the same technique. If he comes in, we stop him, we drop down. We're going to use the triple warmer 17 points to put him flat on his back. Where does a grappler want to be? The back mount. We slide in and we press. He goes down flat, we take the back, we go for our choke, or we go for our striking position. So we're going to show that one more time. So this time he comes nice and quick, he comes in, we stop him, we bring him down, we press. And of course we could be slamming his face into the ground if the rules permit it. From here, we take the back immediately. And again, you're set up for your choke follow-up, or you're set up basically for your palm strikes or hitting techniques. Okay, we're going to work on escaping the mount position. Traditional way to escape is to trap one side of the body. That involves trapping the leg, trapping the arm and elbow, and then bridging and rolling. We're going to try to use a slightly faster method, but we're still using the same idea. Whatever he's doing, either he's choking or punching or I grabbed his arm, I still want to trap the arm. But instead of having to bridge, maybe I don't want to use my legs or he's got my legs trapped, we're going to use the triple warmer 17 point. We're going to press and we're going to squeeze down on here, rolling him over. Now, if this was a self-defense situation, I'd be rolling the other way to get up. If it was a grappling situation, I would continue the motion, where if I had him here, we rolled him, and we would roll basically right into the mount position. So now we are where he started. Okay, we're gonna do the same technique from another angle. We trap an arm, we bring him closer to us, we reach into the triple warmer 17 point. We're gonna turn his head, we're gonna pull his arm, and we can do a little bit of a bridge. And as we pull, we're gonna roll to our side, bringing him over and either into the guard or into the mount position, depending on how quickly he uses his legs. If he's very experienced, he's gonna wrap him quick. If he's not, you're gonna end up on top. So we're putting pressure behind the jaw to force him in the direction that we want him to go. Okay, the next one we're gonna do, maybe he's throwing a punching type attack, we're gonna bridge to make his arms come forward, because we need an arm. So we bridge. He breaks his fall, and what we're gonna do is wrap his elbow. We're gonna reach through and trap it. From here, we're gonna take our middle knuckle. We're gonna find that spleen point, which is very exposed. We're gonna dig into it and we're gonna bridge, which is gonna actually send him over and start us in position for an arm lock. From here, what you probably wanna do is take your right knee and slip into a knee on stomach position and crank the arm. If you're having difficulty, started to pull out, we slip right back into the arm bar and tap him out that way. Okay, we're gonna show this from another angle so you can observe the arm trapping technique. We're gonna bridge. He comes forward, keep your hands in the middle so his head doesn't hit you. Let it roll up, lock the arm. Keep it tight to your body. This arm is yours now, he doesn't get it back. We find the spleen point, we dig it in, and we bridge rolling him over. We have him locked, and we slide. From here, we apply the pressure. And remember, rub the arm because we're putting pressure on the triple warmer 11 point. If you rub it, he taps. So we get him to here, instead of just squeezing, roll the arm, and he's gonna tap right away. All right, from the next position, we're gonna take it from a tight mount. We're gonna use the spleen 21 points on both sides of his ribs. We're gonna place the knuckles in, and we're gonna twist. What that's gonna cause him to do is come up. As soon as he does that, we're gonna roll him over to the side. So as he comes down, we place the knuckles, we twist, and we get him right off of us nice and quick. Okay, the next one's gonna involve using the points on the calf. Bladders 55, 56, and 57. Again, if he's sitting upright and he can throw punches, we wouldn't use this because we're leaving ourselves defenseless. But if we were grappling and he wasn't punching, it would be excellent. If he's down very low or to one side, we can use the points. So basically what we're gonna do is take our thumbs, dig them in, and bridge. And he's gonna fly right off you because he's not gonna like that very much. Okay, for the next one, if you're struggling, he's looking for a choke, you have an arm. If he makes the mistake of straightening his arm or almost straightening it, we're gonna use the triple warmer 11 point, we're gonna rub it, and that's gonna bring him right off of us. So we're gonna show that one more time. All right, we're gonna lock the wrist, we're struggling, maybe he's trying for a choke, he's pushing in. We come up here, we rub, and we bring him over. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is when you have the mount, some things you can do to make some submissions and other techniques easier. Number one, we wanna work on turning his head and applying some submissions that way. We're gonna start with the mental nerve point. If he's looking at us, we can just place our thumb and turn his head to the side. When his head is looking that way, it's very difficult for him to control you or to try to even do any of the escapes. Once you have the head turned this way, you're gonna use the other hand and go into the triple warmer 17 point behind the ear and continue to control him. From here, you can move on to striking applications or going into holds and locks of your own. Another variation of this technique is to use the small intestine 18 point in the cheekbone. If for some reason you couldn't get his jaw to turn, we can just take the fingers and press straight in and up. And then we can use that possibly to grasp an arm, go for an arm lock, go for a key lock. Or again, if we're doing punching, once we turn him or press him, we could follow with our striking techniques. Okay, we're gonna show a real quick, easy submission from the mount using only pressure points. We're gonna use our ulnar bone or the bottom wrist bone to turn the mental nerve and twist his head. Then we're gonna take the same bone, twisting the other way, and twist up into the small intestine 18 point. So let's say I'm down lower and I'm looking for something, looking for a technique, maybe he's holding my back, whatever he's doing, I'm gonna press down and turn his head. Now that I press down, I'm gonna rotate the wrist and turn up. And he's either gonna tap or he's gonna look to start to roll over like he was. If he starts to roll over and I get him here, I'm gonna lift the leg and allow him to roll into the side position. And then I can continue with the arm bar or other pressure points and controlling techniques. Okay, we're gonna show the same one from a different angle. Again, we're using the ulnar bone to rub down and turn his head. Once his head is turned, we're gonna come up and apply forward and upward pressure to get him to tap or submit. Or if we lift our leg, we can actually help him to roll over and move to another position. So from here, we're down a little bit lower. We're gonna rub down, and we've turned his head and broken his bear hug. Now we're gonna rub up, and we get him to start to roll. If I wanna complete the roll, I lift the leg, and I slide the knee in, and it locks me into this position here. Okay, one excellent spot to get him into for pressure point work and even striking work is to get him on his side. One way we're gonna do that is we're gonna either do what we did before using the pressure points, or we're gonna try for a choke. As we go to choke him, he's gonna defend. Once he defends, he lifts the elbow. Using leverage, we're gonna lift, pull our heel in, slide our knee to the side. Now we're just gonna roll him a little bit this way. Okay. From this position, using pressure points, we can use our heel to dig into the rib points. So if we were allowed to strike and kick, this would be an excellent point to go for. From here, we can set up the arm bar. Instead of just pressing his head down, we can use the triple warmer point. And basically that just rolled him nicely on the side and gave me his arm. What we're gonna do now is go for the arm bar, and he's gonna resist it. As he resists it, we're gonna use 2 points in the corner of the chest, called lung 1 and 2, in the crease of the shoulder and the chest. Dig our heel in it and force him to release the hold. So as we're here, we press down, we step over, we get him into position, and I can't get him free. So rather than struggling, I'm gonna take my left heel, dig it into the point, and he's gonna let go instantly, allowing me to complete the arm bar. Okay, we're gonna work on escaping the guard now. Escaping the guard, we're gonna use pressure point called liver 9. Liver 9 is 4 fingers up from the crease of the knee, a little bit towards the inside of his leg. And as you press it, it actually releases his leg. So what we're gonna do from this position, we're gonna take one elbow and dig it in. Right from there, we're gonna keep pressure on it with our palm or our knuckle, slide across, and come right out into the cross-side position, right to here. So we're gonna show that one more time. Okay, so he's gonna lock us in the guard. We have our elbows in, we're in good position. We place our elbow on the point, and we don't just do this, we drive it to the ground. We slide over, come out to the cross-side position and lock him in here. Okay, we're gonna show that technique again. We're gonna press into the liver point, bringing him down, slide across, we're gonna go right to the cross-side position. We're gonna work our way into the mount from here. The way we're gonna get the mount is to go into the next position, wrapping our head around his neck, squeezing nice and tight. From here, we're gonna drop to our side position, and we're gonna turn just so we can show the move. Move sideways, please. Okay. Now, from here, if he didn't know what he was doing, his leg would be down, we would step over, and we would mount him. An experienced grappler is gonna try to defend with this leg. So as you go over, he's gonna lift the leg. We're gonna use the Gallbladder 31 point in the leg to prevent that. So from here, the knee's gonna hit it first. And that's gonna allow us to gain the mount position. All right, we're gonna show that technique one more time. We're gonna press our elbow into the liver 9 point, dropping it, slide across, we're gonna go to the cross-side position. Once we're here, we wanna work our way into the mount position. We're gonna wrap the arm around the neck, and we're gonna do a sit-through. Now from here, we're gonna shift angles. Okay. All right, we wanna keep this leg high, this leg here pinning his leg. If he was an inexperienced grappler, we would be able to put our leg over and go right for the mount. An experienced grappler is gonna lift his leg and try to stop you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the Gallbladder 31 point. And with our knee, we're gonna strike it. As we strike it, it's gonna allow us to gain the mount position. All right, the next move we're gonna use is more of a setup for striking. Instead of using one elbow or the other, we're gonna use both. Right now in guard position, he can use his hips to pull me forward or to bring me backwards where I can't reach him. If he's keeping me away where I can't reach him, I need to break this hold so I can shoot myself forward. I'm gonna drop both elbows in, drop it, and move up with the strikes, one side or even double to the jaw point on stomach 5. So we're gonna show that again. He has me in, he pushes me away with his hips. I can't reach him, elbow, and strike, and that sets me up. All right, the next escape from the guard is used in 2 different ways. One, if the person is so strong that you can't get your elbow inside, and the other is to set up an ankle lock. Instead of using the inner points, we're gonna use the Gallbladder 31 point on the outside of the thigh. We're gonna use our foreknuckles this way. We're gonna punch and squeeze his legs together, making that happen. Now that the guard's broken, I'm gonna lock the ankle under my arm, sit back, but before I apply the ankle lock, my heel is gonna dig into the spleen 11 point on the inside of his thigh, right there. And I lock, and he taps. All right, we're gonna show that one more time. We're gonna dig our knuckles in. Make sure when you dig them in that you don't just hit and squeeze. So we're actually trying to push the knees together. So we line them up, hit and squeeze, lock the leg, sit back on the angle, kick into this point. Even if you can't kick, just digging in is causing him pain. And then apply the ankle lock, leaning back. Okay, so we escaped the guard, we ended up in the cross side. Now, we want to go to the mount position, but before we get there, we have some moves that we can apply that are pretty painful. From the cross side position, if his arm is around our neck and he's kind of holding us down, the first thing we want to do is use our elbow and dig in behind the ear. Now, in a real fight, we can strike it. In a grappling technique, you could kind of just press it, and that'll release his grip. From here now, we're going to take our right knee and go across his belt line. Our right hand, our right forearm, is going to be on the triple warmer 11 point. And we're going to sit up straight. And from here, remember that this is a rub point. It needs to be rubbed up and down. From here, we're going to rub until he taps, just like that. So we're going to show it again. He's in position. He's holding us tight. We dig our elbow into the triple warmer 17 point. We make him release a little bit. We get our knee on his ribs. We embrace the triple warmer 11 point, we sit, and we rub. The next one we're going to do from the cross side is a straight arm bar, again using the triple warmer 11 point and the rubbing motion. Let's say we were struggling and he was trying to punch us and we push the arm down. We're going to slide our arm under, keeping in mind that we want our radial bone to be under the triple warmer 11. We grasp the wrist, we slide the radial bone underneath the triple warmer. Once we have him here, we're applying some pressure, he's feeling it. But as I do this with my hand, you're going to notice the reaction as his body tightens, and if he can use his other arm, he would be tapping right now. So from here, we're going to rub and lock the arm out. So we're affecting an arm bar basically just by using this motion. What we're going to do is we're going to stand them up real quick. We're going to show that point one more time from another angle. All we're doing is taking this motion here and we're rubbing it, but we're doing it from this position from the ground and locking his arm out. So we have him down and we're twisting, just like that. Okay, we're going to do choke defense from the guard. We're going to use our bridging motion to push him away. We're going to use the triple warmer rubbing point to roll him to the side, and then we're going to do a kneeling arm lock. So as he chokes, he's leaning in, we're going to arch, straightening his arm. We're going to rub the triple warmer 11 point, rolling him. We're going to open our guard. We let the heel come around the front, and we can either just squeeze here and make him tap, or we could roll into a kneeling position and crank the arm this way. Okay, this time we're going to do a punching defense. When he was choking, he was close to us. We needed to push him away, so we bridged. Now he's going to punch, and we're going to pull him into us. We're going to lock his arm tight, and we're going to use the triple warmer point to turn his head. We're going to slide out, same technique, lock, and crank onto the elbow this way. Okay, we're going to show this one more time from a different angle. He punches, we pull him in and deflect, we lock the arm tight. We open our guard. We put the left foot on the floor, we roll out to the side to give us room. We still keep him hooked. We press the triple warmer 17 point to turn his head and give us room to insert our left leg. We pull on his arm, we push on our leg, and we have the arm bar. From here, we can also convert it, like before, into a kneeling arm bar to give us more leverage and power. If he's down nice and tight and we can reach his head, we're going to use the mental nerve to twist it. We're actually going to turn our guard position into a mount position. So as he comes in close, he could be choking, doing whatever. I press into the mental nerve, I grab the head and twist. I open the guard and I let him roll. And now I have the mount position. With this technique, please be careful. Do not twist the neck forcefully. By pressing on this, you're actually releasing the neck muscle. Too much twisting, injuring the spine. So we do it slowly, we give him a chance to roll. Okay, we're going to just show some of the points that can be struck in a guard situation. One of the points, as always, is the point on the side of the leg. We could always open up and let the heels dig in this way. If he comes a little bit closer, we're tangled up and we're working, we could come in to the gallbladder 25 point, digging our heels in that way. You see the light reaction there. If he starts throwing punches, we want to get on the inside, we can use, we're going to sit up for a second, the heart 2 point. So if he makes a muscle, we're going to squeeze into here to control his arms. So from the same position, as he starts throwing punches, I'm going to let my thumb slip in and slip in here. Now I have pretty good control of his arms. From here, if I was to sweep him, I would be able to bring him over into the mount position again. Okay, we're going to show this one from a different angle. He starts to punch, we get inside, and we use our thumb. We're going to roll this up so you can see it. And we dig it in to the heart point from an inverted position. He punches with the other side, we do the same thing. We squeeze. And we're going to use his arms as a steering wheel, pulling this and lifting that. At the same time, we're going to open the guard, and we're basically going to sweep him, lifting here, sweeping, using the arms. So from here, lift, roll, and pin. Now from here, we're going to take our knees and replace our hands. From this position, he cannot punch, he cannot defend. This is basically a fight-ending position. We're going to be demonstrating one of our instant knockout shots. Where we're going to be targeting is the stomach 9 point in the side of the neck. And what we're going to be using is our forearm. The reason for using the forearm is with little training, the swing of the forearm is a very powerful blow, and it doesn't have to be as focused as, let's say, using the edge of the hand or even the fingers or a punching technique. With this motion, This could come after blocking a punch. This could come off of a grabbing. For his safety, we're just going to demonstrate it off him grabbing. This way, we minimize the motion and nobody gets injured. So we're going to have John grab nice and tight. We're going to focus on this point. We're going to use the forearm. Stop. And we're going to bring him right down. All right, once we maintain grappling position, both arms are in position to strike him. So rather than bringing him to the ground with a throw, we're actually going to do a knockout technique involving the area around the temple, which are some points that we haven't really covered. We're going to slap. We have the temple, the corner of the eye, and the bridge of the eyebrow, which forms a nice big circle that's just going to get slapped. And on the other side, we're going to use the ridge hand to strike Gallbladder 20. From grappling position, as we're searching for a move, this hand is free to strike here. This hand is free to strike here. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock up, we're going to bring him down, and we're going to show the basic knockout, and he's going to drop. Okay, the last point on the shoulder region is exactly at the apex of the trapezius muscle. So basically we divide his neck and his shoulder in half this way, and we divide it in half this way. And this is where we're going. And we could actually press it and get some effect. Because this is a big muscle, the muscle actually protects it and the point lies underneath it. So generally we want to strike it inward this way or using our forearm. If he was coming forward like to shoot to do the takedown, we would actually use our forearms on this point to stop him. Because of the angle, we may not knock him out, but what we'll do is stop his motion, which will allow us to set up something else. What we're going to do is just show this point the effect of it. We're going to have him throw a punch, we're going to block it, and we're just going to put some downward pressure. And the thing to watch for is his legs. Watch where his legs go. So as he comes in, we come down, and we drop him down. Okay, as previously explained, the more pressure points you hit, the more damage that you do. So if he were to grab me in a real situation, I would be using one of the arm points, one of the body points, or one of the leg points before I came to the jaw point. What that would do is it would make it actually weaker. But what I want to actually just show you is how, with no setup at all, this one point becomes very sensitive. So as he grabs, we're just going to come from this position. I'm going to go slow so that I don't injure him. We're going to come up in the up and out direction. I'm going to have him bite down real tight so he doesn't hurt his teeth. All right, so I'm going to look straight. He's grabbing. We're not going to use a setup. We're going to come in, and it's going to bring him down. We sit him up. We have a special revival that we use to wake him back up a little. All right. Okay, at this point I'd like to go over the proper revival techniques. The purpose of the revival techniques is to wake your partner up if you do a knockout, but most importantly it's to make sure that he doesn't have any adverse effects. What can generally happen if you knock somebody out, they will wake up on their own, they won't just stay asleep forever, but when they wake up they're going to have headaches, their stomach's going to hurt, they're just going to feel almost like they have a hangover. With the proper revival, you're restoring energy, basically that you took away with the strike, and you eliminate that effect. The first type of revival is what we call arm revival. Basically, any of the arm points that we strike. When you strike it, what we're going to do is we're going to actually stop energy to that point. So we hit it, the arm goes to sleep. Now, he's feeling a pulsing right now. That hurts. The way we wake it up is we hit the exact same point with an open palm with approximately half the power with a slap. And then we massage the area. And we repeat that. Slap and massage it. And after you do that, he should have full use of his hand again. So the arm revival is basically simple. Whatever you hit it again, but you hit it with half the force, and instead of hitting it with a focused area, we hit it with a flat palm, and we just massage the area. Flat palm, massage the area. And that'll bring your partner's arm back. This way, when you're training, you hit those points, you can practice it more than once. As far as the head, the neck, the body, we do a technique like we did. We strike, he falls down. All right, he'll tend to just be laying down, basically. The first thing we want to do is we want to sit him up. So we grab him by the head. Okay, now if he's really out, he won't fold his own legs, so you're going to fold his legs. We want to keep our knee in the base of his spine. We want to keep our hand on his head. Now if we struck him on this side, we want to revive on this side. If we struck him on this side, we revive on this side. Where we're going to be reviving is right next to the spinal cord. There's something called the Bladder Meridian. I'm going to show it on myself actually. Not over here, a little bit over, right in this line. This is called the wake-up nerve. Similar to the arm points, we're going to slap it and massage. Slap it and massage. At this point, he should be awake. He may still feel groggy, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our thumb and forefinger, We're going to place it at the base of his back with the spine running in the center, and we're going to run our hand up his spine a couple of times. In Chinese medicine, they say all energy in the body is stored in the kidney region. And when you do this, according to the theory, you're bringing the energy back up into the head. Medically, most likely, you're just stimulating the nerves that go into the neck and head area, and it's waking him up. But either way, the function is what matters, not what causes it. After you finish that, to restore more energy, we're going to start with the hands. Again, in acupuncture and Chinese medicine, each finger controls a different part of the body. So for example, the pinky finger is considered the heart. The ring finger is considered what they call the pericardium. The index finger is the large intestine. So what you're going to do is you're going to pinch, starting at the pinky finger, and pull. Pinch, pull. You should feel like a popping sensation. If anybody ever got a Chinese massage before, this is what they do. They massage the points. They pop the fingers. And what that does is it wakes up and stimulates all of the nerves. And that covers the revivals. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the grappling tape. What I want you to know is that we know there are a lot of other positions in grappling. We focus mainly on the guard and the mount, being that they're the most popular. No matter what position you're in, the points that we use are applicable in different situations. What you want to study is the way the point affects the movement. If one point causes him to move in one direction, even if you're in another position, if you need him to go that way, now you know what point to use to make the effect happen. So basically learn where the points are. No matter what position you're in, your hands and feet will be in range of all of these points, or at least some of them at any given time.